Welcome to 5 Questions here on the 5. We're sitting down 5 questions with Mike Lederer. Mike, you're back again. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Nick, it's just an honor. You keep asking me to come on the show. I'm happy to be here.
It's because you're so good. That's the real reason that we keep on asking you back here, Mike. Is we know that you're the most educated person, sports-wise, that I know and that the website knows. That's why. It's not because everyone else shuns us.
Well, Nick, I appreciate the kind words, but I'm sure the listeners out there could care less about me and want to get to the questions.
Okay, fair enough. First question, U.S. District Judge Susan Richard Nelson actually told both sides in the NFL, labor dispute that it's going to take a few weeks to kind of get all the decisions made, make all the decisions, work through all the paperwork. How does this affect the NFL, in the next couple of weeks, and most importantly, the NFL draft?
Well, Nick, it's going to have a pretty big impact. I mean, the initial injunction ruling was yesterday by Judge Nelson. She said it's going to take at least 2 weeks to make an initial ruling. Then whatever side loses is going to appeal that ruling. It's probably going to take another 60 days or so before that's heard in court. So now we're talking mid-June all of a sudden. So unless both sides come back to the bargaining table, there's some federal mediation that's put in place, and they're able to get a deal before April 28th, realistically, there's not going to be a new collective bargaining agreement before the NFL draft on April 28th. And what does that mean for football fans out there? Well, that means that there's not going to be trades during the NFL draft involving players. So if you're a fan of a team like the Philadelphia Eagles, there's been rumors around backup quarterback Kevin Cobb being dealt for a first-round pick. That can't happen without a new labor agreement. So we're getting to a dangerous point right now where this dispute between the players and the owners is going to start significantly impacting the decisions that teams can make towards the 2011 season and beyond.
Switching gears, and I'm talking baseball, the Boston Red Sox have started their season rather woefully. What are they doing wrong?
Well, I wouldn't worry too much. I mean, they're 0-5 right now. It's a surprising start for the Red Sox, but it's still so early in the season. We're just 1/32 of the way through the season. There's still a ton of games left for the Red Sox, and on paper, they have a tremendous amount of talent. They're going to turn things around up there in Boston, but there are some concerns, specifically with the pitching staff. I mean, John Lackey started 2011 off the same way that his 2010 season went, and that's very poorly. There's concerns about Josh Beckett and his conditioning. He came in a bit out of shape in the camp, did not get off to a good start to the season, and there's always question marks surrounding Daisuke Matsuzaka. So the Red Sox do have some question marks, but that lineup, they'll get things turned around. Carl Crawford off to an abysmal start. He'll turn things around at the plate. There's just too much talent up in Boston for this lack of success to continue.
In the NBA, of course, the Indiana Pacers made the NBA postseason with a losing record. Why doesn't the NBA do something about this to keep teams with a losing record out of the postseason? I mean, and out of a chance to take the title.
Well, I mean, I think we both realistically know that the Pacers have no chance of taking the title. But that being said, in the NBA this year, it looks like only one team with a sub-500 record will get into the postseason, which is better than the past few seasons have been for the NBA. And realistically, too many teams make the playoffs in the NBA. It's similar to the NHL. It's such a long season, and pretty much everybody gets in, and that's showcased by a team with 35 wins getting into the postseason. What can they do to fix this? Well, in the upcoming collective bargaining agreement for basketball, they got to fix it, because right now it's a star-driven league. The stars play together, and the talent is so diluted that there's just simply not enough teams with legitimate chances to do anything. So you need to eliminate this system where there's a soft salary cap with a luxury tax and guaranteed contracts, because right now it just does not work, and the quality of the game is suffering from it.
Hey, would you be a little quick side question, would you be in favor of contraction? And we're not talking about pregnancy or apostrophes.
It's something that I think should be considered with the NBA. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are some incredibly talented players, and the quality of several teams is great. But the bottom line is clearly a league where over half the teams are operating in the red because of lack of talent, and the product's just not good enough. It's something that has to at least be considered moving forward.
All right, so that was question 3A. So now on to question 4. Going back, Major Leagues, Barry Bonds' lawyers, they decided to rest their case. They didn't call a witness. They didn't even put Bonds on the stand. The thing is he going to get off scot-free in this one, do you think?
Quite frankly, I don't think it really matters. I mean, Bonds was found guilty by the public opinion a long time ago for taking steroids, and right now he's not on trial for taking steroids themselves. He's on trial for lying about it. And even if he's found guilty, I think he's going to get off with a slap on the wrist. I mean, realistically, he'll probably get probation. I'd be very surprised if Bonds ends up doing jail time, and if he does end up doing jail time, there's no way he gets a longer sentence than that of Victor Conte from Balco, who got 4 months in prison. So I'd be very surprised if Bonds gets jail time if he's found guilty at all. So realistically, I don't think it really matters.
Now, switching gears completely, it's the Masters, a tradition unlike any other. Who do you like?
Well, right now you got to look at Phil Mickelson. I mean, coming off a win last weekend, the defending champion at Augusta, he's going to get most of the picks. A guy like Rory McIlroy is going to be up there as well. A guy to keep an eye on, though, is Nick Watney. Watney with a top 10 finish in 5 of the 6 tournaments that he's played in this year, including a victory. He's a name not a lot of people know about that could make a nice run at Augusta.
That's 5 questions with Mike Lederer here on The 5. Mike, thanks for stopping by.
Nick, thanks for having me.